Hello, we're back for our next pre-season division preview. It's a mouthful, and it's the AL West. So, yeah, what do you think the outlook is for this division?
It's not as exciting as it was last year, is it really?
No, not particularly close. Last year I think at the pre-season it looked like potentially the most exciting, and it sort of lived up to it a bit. But the Astros still won quite easily, really, didn't they? Well, the Athletics have a bit of a fight, but
The Athletics were really, really exciting last year, but it's just a bit of a shame that they had that massive overachievement, including a bit of a streak and stuff, and they lost the wildcard game. It's kind of like a bit
yeah,
underwhelming. And then the Angels were obviously not good, and then the Mariners have torn it down. Um, so should we go through the teams?
yeah. Okay, what do you want to start with?
Rangers, I guess,
Yeah, okay,
take
let's start with the Rangers.
they take the least interesting mantle, I think,
Do
at the
they?
moment.
Isn't it not the Mariners now? I don't know.
Because the Mariners have at least done stuff.
Yeah, I guess the Rangers are sort of just carrying on from what they were doing last year, aren't they? Where they've kind of got their core of guys that aren't very good, but they're hoping are going to be good at some point. That are like youngish, like Adore, Mazzara, um,
Uh,
who
Gallo.
yeah, Gallo. Yeah, I mean, guys, Gallo is sort of he's quite. They're like all of them. They are good. They're useful players, but they're not. You don't want them as like the centre of your team, do you? If you're going to be competing.
Well, the other thing
Um,
that's really hurt them has been Willie Calhoun just being like rubbish now.
yeah. Did he get injured or something after they traded for him, or what was it?
I don't know if he got hurt, but he was rubbish.
Yeah, he was just in the market. He was meant to be a starter, wasn't he? After they traded for him
And
um,
he's just
for
he's
Darvish.
been terrible. So last year he lost a load of power basically. In AAA he had a 782 OPS, which is like okay, but for a bat first prospect is not good. And then played 35 games in the majors and had a 602 OPS.
Yeah, because
That
he was meant to be like a really good hitter, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He's kind of part of that. Well, I'm hoping he'd be part of that group of guys that are young and are hopefully going to just like improve together.
well they've got Ron Guzman as well, haven't they? They've got Ronald Guzman who's going to be playing first, and then there's
Uh,
also Isaiah kind of Falefa who's like a catcher type.
a catch
Uh,
type,
well, yeah, because he does other stuff. He
does he?
catches and plays around the infield.
Yeah, they
Uh,
lost Profar, who was sort of in that group of like youngish guys. Renato Nunez actually they've added to that group of sort of young guys that they're hoping are going to break out because
yeah,
he was like a few years ago. I think he was a really highly rated prospect at the Athletics thing, wasn't he?
yeah.
I don't think
It,
it worked out. I don't know if he played for the Athletics. Don't know if he actually played for the major league team.
I think I get what they're doing.
But
I feel like they have a path which is something and is better than some teams. I'm not sure it's necessarily going to work. Like you said, it's basically like
uh,
this young position core. Most of the guys I think we've just mentioned.
actually, sorry, they don't actually have Nunez. That was wrong. Sorry, that was me.
Okay.
Just they had him last year, and now he plays the Orioles. So I guess it didn't
Uh,
really work out there either. But yeah, in general, they've got this combination of these youngish guys that they see as having upside, and a few of them do. Like Adore actually had a decent year compared to what he's done before last year. Um, and also they're just trying out getting old veterans cheap and seeing if one of those could give them another good year.
yeah. So the rotation they've signed: Lance Lynn, Shelby Miller,
Yeah,
Drew Smiley. They've got in the rotation with Mike Minor and Edinson Volquez.
and like they had Bartolo last year is a similar sort of thing. They've just getting guys that have been good before and hoping. I
Yeah,
think
and
possibly though they're possibly like their best player. I mean, I guess like compared to their position in the rest of baseball, might be Jose the Clerk.
Yeah,
Oh,
because he's like
I don't know. People, I've not heard people talking about him much. I guess partly because he's a relief pitcher for like a pretty insignificant team at the moment. But he is like potentially. Well, he was ridiculous last year, but like it's one of those where if he can back it up, but he has like the stuff to back it up, and if he can, I mean, he's a potential like top 5 reliever, I think.
yeah, yeah. I don't think they're looking to trade him, are they? I think he's basically a guy they're looking to keep hold of.
Yeah, I think he's under quite a bit of control.
Yeah, it's the same going for Joey Gallo, because you kind of feel like these are guys that you could get something back for, but I suppose they're in that slightly weird, we're going to be bad but not absolutely terrible.
Yeah, they kind of want to because they're kind of hoping that some of these other guys will break out, aren't they, with them? They're a bit of like a few teams in this sort of situation, whereas instead of completely tearing everything down and just saying we're going to be bad, really bad, like as bad as possible, they're still not great, but it's all not really intentional. It's like at the same time they're not going to sign people, or not many people that are going to block their guys. And well, they're not like prospects that have just come through either, but they're still young. Like Joe Guy's only 24, Mazara's only 23, and they're early 20s.
Yeah,
and they're just sort of like going to plod along with this lineup and hope some of them break out at some point. Because if a couple of them break out in the same season, then suddenly they're in quite a decent position. Like break out seriously and have like a like an all-star season or something.
yeah. I don't hate it. They got Asdrubal Cabrera as well. Is a guy I forgot about who was good for the Mets and then really not good for the Phillies last year. And then they've got Logan Forsythe on a spring training invite, and Matt Davidson, and obviously Ben Revere, Hunter Pence. Like, he's sort of just a scattergun, and I don't really mind it. I think I like teams that you feel like someone's got a plan, even if I don't think it's the best plan you could have.
They've basically not really got. They've got these players that are doing okay, but they've not really got the start of like contenders. There's not really any point in them signing free agents to add to it. It's like signing a couple of free agents is not going to make them a contender. It might not even make them better than last place, or well. I suppose now the Mariners are playing up, they might get 4th this year. But it's probably not going to even make them the 3rd best team in their division, signing like a couple of free agents. So there's kind of there's not really much point. We're just going to stick with what we've got with these guys that they believe can be better than they are at the moment.
On the other side of it, they're probably better than all 3 of the AL Central bad teams.
Yeah,
and better than the Orioles, obviously, and they could be better than the Blue Jays, maybe. I mean, it's possibly a bit of a stretch, but it depends what the Blue Jays pitching does. I don't. I think there's a reason to watch the Rangers this year if you're a Texas Rangers fan.
Yeah, similar. Basically they're kind of doing the same thing they have done for the last couple of years, I think. Really, with they've got a young lineup of guys and just. Yeah, they're not making loads of moves. They're kind of keeping faith in these young guys to improve.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them pick up. Maybe they will yet pick up like Gio Gonzalez or a relief pitcher or two in free agency that they could then flip for something.
Yeah, they seem to like getting the undervalued guys in there, bit of muscles or stuff. Where they get the old guys, they're gonna be really cheap. Like when they got Matt Moore.
Yeah.
This stuff is sort of a guy's been bad, and it didn't work out, did it? I don't think. But
no, not at all.
Just sort of getting a lot of guys like that and having some of them work out.
Matt Moore's now playing for the Tigers, in fact.
A lot more value, yeah. But anyway, that's again, we've spent quite a lot of time talking about like
A pretty bad team.
one of the least interesting teams. So let's move on.
So the Mariners, do you reckon?
Mariners, yeah, the other non-contender or
Okay.
definite non-contender.
Yeah. So they just tore everything apart, didn't they?
Yeah,
Really?
they weren't even. I mean, after 89 wins as well, 89 win year, they were just not even trying to hide it. They were just we give up because
They
they have had a big payroll for a while, to be honest, with like the Cano contract and having Nelson Cruz and stuff. I think Felix Hernandez on quite a bit, and these guys are all getting older, and that they're I think Cano's still good and Nelson Cruz is still good, but like they're not. None of them are getting any better, obviously, anymore.
no, they've got
And
Kyle Seager too, who was crap last year and on a lot of money.
and they've never made it to playoffs with that group of guys, so they were just decided there's sort of not that much point carrying on spending all this money at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough because they've also, even now, you've got like Seager I just mentioned. D Gordon's on a fair bit of money. They've now taken on Jay Bruce's contract
Yeah,
and Edwin's actually.
yeah, and I don't mind. I mean, the trades they've done, I think they've done quite well at it, to be honest. I think it's quite a good start to a rebuild. Like the JP Crawford for
Segura.
Segura. I think that could end up being a really good deal. I mean, Segura's he's only 29, isn't he? But like, by the time the Mariners are next hoping to contend, well, he'd be a free agent anyway, I think, and old. And JP Crawford, I can't believe that the Phillies were actually willing to go up JP Crawford. To be honest, it's basically he got injured, didn't he, last year?
Yeah, and he's only had 100 at-bats.
100, how many?
187.
Yeah, he was meant to be their starting shortstop, and he was, I think, wasn't he, at the start of the year? And then got an injury. I mean, he wasn't amazing, but it's a really small sample size, and he's one of these guys that was like a really highly rated prospect.
Yeah,
as in the minors, and the sort of shortstop that they thought, is like a good defender and could possibly be a really good hitter as well. And so it's I don't know. I feel like that was quite a good deal for the Mariners. I thought to start their rebuild.
well, they've got him and Shed Long up the mid long term.
Yeah,
I quite like that.
yeah. If they work out, I suppose. And then they've got, and also their two top prospects on pipeline are both from trades this summer. So basically, it's not this summer, this winter. So it's basically a really solid start, I think, to the rebuild where they've.
Actually, isn't Justin Dunn also from a trade this summer? I think it's top 3. Wasn't Justin Dunn in the?
Maybe.
Wasn't he in the Cano deal? Or have I made that up? I'm not 100%
yes,
sure.
I think he was. Yes, it looks like he was. Yeah, so that's top 3. So basically, they've drastically improved their farm system. Got a couple of guys that are going to be playing in the majors straight away. Young guys with Sheffield as well in the rotation, and it's like.
Well, they also traded for Domingo Santana, which was a really nice move.
Yeah. So I feel like they've a bit similar to the Rangers, I suppose, but guys that have not got as much experience, which is possibly better because it's sort of with the Rangers you feel like they sort of know who they are now. But it's sort of you can still hope for a breakout, but it's getting less and less likely. There's been 3 years in the majors for some of those guys, but you feel like they've got a lot of upside.
Yeah.
In their they've possibly slipped